Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I know usually I do shorts, but this particular video will be a little bit long. I'm gonna do a long form video, not very long. I'll try not to bore you and keep you here too long, but it's just if you want to know this, I'm gonna touch on narcissistic abuse. From the mother wound, from the mother side. So it happened from my whole family, but like I said, this video is just going to be from looking at it from the mother side of narcissistic abuse. So I'll tell you, when I was born, my mom, I guess maybe I'm gonna go to when I was 20 years old. So I was roughly about 20, in my 20s, I'll say. So when I was in my 20s, my mom told me that when she had me as a little, when she had me and I was a little baby, that she thought, this baby is so pretty. She's not gonna like me. She's too pretty to be my baby. She's not gonna like me. And they just have, and I'll say narcissists, they just have these weird beliefs. That what mother would even say that? That is your kid. Children, they usually most babies love I mean, I don't say most, I think all kids love their parents until they do something to them and they may be scared of them or something like that. But usually, typically, babies love their mama, babies love their daddy. They just do. It's normal, and so it's just that's just the way it is. So she told me that when I was in my 20s, and I just couldn't imagine. I'm looking down, so I want to look in this. I want to find a scripture that goes to that in the Bible. Let's see. It was the scripture in the Bible. I'm trying to think the name of it is when what I feared the most came upon me, or something like that. Let me see. Yeah, what I feared has come upon me. Okay, it was in the Bible. Let's see what it says. I'm sorry, I should have already had it up, right? Okay, so it's in Job 3:25, and this is from the NIV version, and it says, "What I feared has come upon me. What I dreaded has happened to me." And so I want to say with that is like the very thing that she told me that, and it never went away. She told me that when I was, like I said, in my 20s, and I always felt emotionally disconnected from her. I know that now, but when I was a kid, I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know what. I didn't feel, it's like something was missing, something was wrong. Like and it also made me feel like something was wrong with me. And so that very thing right there, it's like God's word, that God don't lie, he don't miss, okay? And everything that we need to run our life, to live our lives, is in this Bible. You know what I'm saying? And for her to say that, and then for it to have came true, that very verse just really, I don't know, it just resonates with me so well. And so whenever I get afraid of things, whenever I get scared, or I'm having like anxiety, because it's gonna come, you're human. Even though it's in the Bible, it's gonna come, you're human. But you gotta really fight against that, because now look at us. I'm 50 years old. My mom and I are like no contact. We don't talk to each other, and nothing major happened, but it's like I started to 2020, something major did happen in my family, and just in my family, period. Okay, not so much just her, is in my family, period. And it made me start to, sometimes things, God can allow things to happen, because I told you in another video that I had put on this channel that everything that can be shaken will be shaken. It's in the Bible. I had to look it up for the verse for the book and stuff. I'm not one of the ones that can tell you, yeah, John, da, 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 I don't know, but I have to look it up. But anyway, so my mom, she, this very thing that she feared has came upon us. And like I said, in 2020, a family emergency happened, something happened in our family. And I started to, and it's basically, it shook the foundation. The foundation, it was not built on God. This family was not built on God. Even though she's told me things that, she took me to church. She's told me about God. She's, used to be very active in the church. Everybody who says they're a Christian or claims to love God, their heart sometimes is far from him. And so that's a word for somebody. And it helped me to open my eyes to see that I see it in my own life. This is real, right? And so she, when I was, this is not a video to bash my mother. Even though we are no contact, I love my mother. That will never change. We have some differences. We have ways that we view things. We, don't agree on things, some things, but that doesn't stop my love from her. I was able to forgive her because, like I was gonna say, there's things that have happened that I can look back, and narcissistic people, they covert narcissists anyway. They'll, what is it? Old people used to say, they throw the rock and hide their hand. You know, she did a lot of that, and it's like a lot of things. I'm looking back like that was mama all along, you know, and wondering why the other kids treat me a certain kind of way and things like that. I'm not saying that it was all her fault, but I'm saying that she is the root of, you know what I'm saying, why this is happening. And then and I don't want to come off like a victim, because I am a victor. I'm talking with God. I'm walking with God every single day. And in my heart, I have forgiven her. I've forgiven my whole family. Now, I don't deal with them. I don't have any conversations with them, but I have forgiven them. You know, I feel like that's one of the fruit of the spirits. Forgiveness, you know, and love. I have that for them. And please don't leave nasty comments in my thing about my mother, because like I said, I love her. We don't comment. I mean, we don't conversate or talk, you know, and things like that. And I don't wish no ill will or anything on her. And I have to stay away to protect my peace. But I still love her. I have forgiven her. I'm over it. I really am. And I pray for her every single day. I want the best for her. I'm praying that she gives her heart to Christ fully. You know, I know that she thinks that she has, but when you do some of your fruit with how you live your life, it'll tell on you. So you can say one thing out of your mouth, but how you live your life is another thing, and your life, it will be proven, right? Sometimes people don't have to say anything. If you spend enough time around them, you'll hear some of the things that come out of their mouths, and you know what's in their heart is coming out of their mouth. What comes out of their mouth is in their heart. So you will be able to see. You know, that's part of having discernment. And that's another thing. When I was younger, she told me, I prayed for you that you would have discernment. So I know at one point, I think my mom was connected with God. I want to believe that at some point she put a lot of godly things in me, or I don't know if it was do as I say and not as I do. I'm not sure. I'm confused with all of that, but that's neither here or there. You know, it is what it is. We're on no contact. We don't talk or anything like that, but yeah, it's really wild. It's a hurtful thing. And I think that in my life, I was surrounded by narcissistic friendships, boyfriends, you know, and when I look back, I think it's really because, it was what do you call it? A familiar spirit, that was on me, you know? So it's not like I asked to be abused, but I had already been conditioned for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, my mom would say maybe like backhanded compliments and stuff. As a kid, I didn't put that together. I can say it now, looking back, I see clearly what it was. But as a kid, I didn't understand that. Or maybe she may compliment my friend and really talk them up. And it's like, well, what about me? You know, that's in my head is what I'm thinking, you know? So just little things like that. And you can't see a lot of that stuff until you get in it, you know, until you're out of it. I'm sorry. Until you get out of it, you really can't see somebody doing this type of stuff to you. And then too, when it's your mom, when it's your parent, or even a sibling, you just you don't want to believe that, you know? And then as I kept getting older and growing and stuff, and I would have different friends and they would do a lot of the same things. But why? Because it was familiar. I had already been conditioned to suck it up, don't say nothing, you know, laugh it off, even though you don't like it, you know, just don't speak on it, because if you speak on it, now you're gonna get a backlash. Now you don't get to go here. Now you don't get to go there. You see, so it's because it's transactional. It's not love in the first place. It's transactional. I mean, there's no other way to put it. You know, if you do this, then you get that. If you don't do this, then you don't get that. You know, if you don't do what I say, you know, it'll be that. It's gonna be smoke with it. You know what I mean? So it's like, as a kid, you learn, do I want to smoke or do I not? You know, so you kind of learn, you adjust to whatever it is. And you know, that's just what it was with me and my mom. And I used to think it was only my siblings that were, hang on, somebody's calling me. I hope it doesn't mess the video up too much. But I don't know how to edit. You guys know that. I told you I don't know how to edit, but I'm going to be working on it. I am working on it, figuring out how to do that. But anyway, yeah, so my mom, she gave me a lot of transactional love. She would withhold love from me. Maybe, you know, I look nice and she wouldn't give me a compliment, you know, and it's like, what? You know, and in my mind, you know, as a kid, you're hungry and yearning. You want your mama. Most kids, you want your mama's love and affection and affirmation. You need that from your mom. You need it from both parents. But, you know, for me, I wanted it from my mom. My dad, pretty much, he did a good job. I said both of them had raggedy love. That's what I call it, raggedy love. But, and I'm like, I don't like raggedy love to this day. If you're going to love me all the way or leave me alone. And but my mom and my dad, they had raggedy love. But, you know, I'll say also, like I said, I don't want to make this a video where I'm bashing them, because I'm not. It was raggedy love, but apparently it was enough. You know what I'm saying? It's like they gave me enough. You know, I got confidence and stuff of what I need to get me where I am, you know? And so yeah, I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to bash them. I don't want to make this, because I've healed and I'm healing, and I've gotten a lot better. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to be come off like a victim, and I'm, you know, blaming them for this and blaming them for that. Okay, whatever happened. We leave it in the past and we move on to now where we are. And fast forward, I'm doing so much better. I miss my mom, and that's hard too, I wanted to say, because when you are in a narcissistic, abusive family situation, it's really hard because you have to grieve people that are still living. Grieve people that are still living. That is one of the hardest things. I don't know if you guys have done that before. Leave it in the comments. I mean, it's hard to grieve somebody that is still walking around on this earth. It's almost like better if they're dead, you know, which I'm not wishing that on my mom or anybody, you know, but I'm just saying it's easier, you know, when a person, you know, that you can't get a hold to them anymore, you know, that that's over with. But when that person is still walking around on this earth, that is like one of the hardest things. Some days I sit and I just cry because it's hurtful, you know, and it's so sad. But I don't want to feel like I'm feeling sorry for myself. Like, why don't you just pick up the phone and call her? It's not that easy, because it's a cycle, and she does certain things, and it's like I can't have that in my life. And then she'll do good for it when I have, you know, went back before I totally went to no contact and never looked back. You know, I would try to do that, and then I would go back and it would just start all over again. You know, she would be good and do the right thing for, and it seemed like, oh, maybe she gets it. She's, you know, she's working on that. And then it would just happen all over again. It's like, I can't, how long do I let you keep playing in my face? Like, I can't just keep doing that. I gotta let you go. I love you. God bless you, and goodbye, you know? And but I'll say my biggest thing that I don't like it, but I'll say the biggest thing is that I'm learning to stand on my own, and I'm really not on my own. I mean, yeah, in my natural I'm all alone and I don't have anybody, but in the spirit, of course, I have the Holy Spirit, I have God. We sit and we talk, you know, and he communicates things to me, you know, and I still have a little community. I have, you know, my clients and stuff that come in, and we talk about different things. And, you know, of course, nowadays you got YouTube and all that, so you can watch different podcasts or, you know, whatever. And you at least, if nothing else, at least you know you're not alone, because somebody else is going through the same thing or has been through the same thing. So you have a little community. But yeah, so that's one of the good things. But yeah, so that's about sums it up on this video. Is yeah, talking about the mother wound. The mother wound is a hard one to, and then I was gonna add to that is a lot of the way how she moved is kind of like how I learned to move. She would work a lot. You know, and yeah, my dad wasn't always doing the things that he needed to do, I guess, per se, for the family. And so she worked a lot, and I took that as well. I learned to do that, you know, because what did I do? I grew up and, you know, was with someone and had kids with them that didn't, you know, pull his weight all the way like he should have, because I would say inadvertently, she taught me that this is what it looks like. This is what love is, and it's not. And that's another reason why narcissistic abuse sucks so bad, because you have to unlearn all the things that you think you know about life. You have to unlearn that stuff. And a lot of times it's like learned behavior, and you'll carry that stuff over into your adult life, and you don't even know. You don't know what you don't know until you get out from it, and you kind of look back and see, oh my goodness, you know, I could have did this better, or I could have did that better. So those are things that I'm working on now, is being self-aware, and to being self-aware, and to holding myself accountable. accountability is really big for me. You know, I'm not going to say somebody else is doing something and I don't check myself about if I'm doing it or not, you know, and then I'm learning to give people grace, you know, because you don't know what you don't know. That's why I say, please don't say anything mean or bad about my mom, because, you know, you don't know what you don't know. I don't know what happened to her in her life when she was, you know, a very young child. She has never told me anything pretty much about, very little she's told about her life as a child. And I always thought that was weird, because why haven't I heard, you know, stories about you growing up? And, you know, I would ask questions and stuff and she just wouldn't give me answers about it. I don't know if she didn't know, or it almost seemed like she was hiding something. So I don't know. That's another thing about narcissistic people. They'll never let you too close to them. And that's very hard, you know, especially when you're a kid. Like I said, you want your mom, and they don't let you close to them. It's almost like go sit down, get out of my face, or they stay at work a lot. You know, they're always emotionally busy with something else. You know, you're not going to get too much of their time, and you're not going to get they stonewall. So you're not going to get a lot of emotion at all from them. You're not going to get any I love yous and I can only speak from my experiences. Maybe somebody else did. I don't know. But I didn't get, you know, I love you. You'd have to really be, I think she told me maybe 2 or 3 times. And that was, I'm going to say 2 times. And that was when I was in the hospital having my children. You know, maybe she thought I was close to death. I don't know. But I thought that was very weird and strange to me about you know, how I grew up, you know, like, you know, and so I looked for it in other women, and you know, like I said, other teachers and stuff, wanting them to affirm me. And I knew that I was hungry for that and starving for that, but I never knew, I didn't have language for it as a kid. I didn't know why I felt so drawn to Miss so-and-so, or why I felt, you know, but it was because I wanted their affirmation. I wanted them to affirm me. As I'm an adult now, like I said, and have went to therapy, I know that I know now, I have a language for it. I know what that was. But yeah, so that probably, I don't want to keep you too long on this video. But I did want to introduce myself a little bit better. And so I'll do different videos to share different things, and I want you guys to know who I am a little bit more. So again, my name is T. I am a narcissistic abuse survivor, family abuse, financial abuse, emotional, all the things except sexual. No, I've never been sexually violated. So I want to make sure that is out there. My family has never done anything like that to me. So I hope this video helps. I hope that helps you to get to know me a little bit better. I hope you'll be back to the channel for more videos. And then when I come again, I'll either talk about my dad or my siblings so that you guys can and then I'll give you my full story as to where I am in life, how I'm doing now. Like I said, I'm healing. I don't think you ever get 100% healed, but I am healing, and I still have triggers and stuff, probably always will to the day I die. That's just the way it is. But I'm overcoming them, and I am not I'm not a victim. I am a victor. So yeah, I'll go ahead and wrap this video up, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye bye.